YouTube, what is good? It's your boy Miltnificent coming back with another quick sneaker review. And today we are going to review the PG3 NASA shoes that just released not too long ago. This is the white and gold version, not to be mistaken from the orange and multicolored version that released earlier this year. So, for those that are not familiar, PG NASA's 3s. This was the first version that was released. I think it was a dope shoe. I still wear this. And quite honestly, I'm curious to see what this new one looks like because the colorway is more, I say basic, it's unique, but it pops with that gold midsole, and I'll show you what I'm talking about in a minute. So Nike then sends me this box, and for some reason, if you go on the sneakers app, and we're going to unbox this, if you go on the sneakers app, I had size 13, and size 13 actually sold out quicker than I expected. So I guess thank goodness I was able to get it while I got it, because that thing went fast for some reason. But anyway, I saw this concept online, and I knew that the Paul George, the PG3 NASA shoes are built or engineered from the astronaut suit. So the material that they use, nylon, I think it's polyurethane, something else that they use to incorporate in the shoe itself, so it feels like you're stepping on the moon, literally. That's literally how I felt when I put his first shoes on. Like I felt like I was stepping on pillows. But again, that all comes down to the engineering and design. So here's the unboxing for the Paul George NASA white and gold colorway. And we can hopefully, ooh, that landed right on the top. That was pretty cool. But anyway, we're going to see the subtle differences between the first version and the second version. And quite, okay. So off the rip, here we go. These are actually dope up close if you can kind of see this. And, oh, freaking sneaker fell down. If you're looking at the box itself, it does have the quality control stamp in there. And the box is no different from the first box, unless you got the special box edition from Finish Line. It has the Palmdale, which is basically California. The area where there's like I think a NASA base station that's probably not too far from where Paul George was living as he grew up. So he was a big, NASA fan. And then, of course, he did a collab with the shoe. It makes sense because anything that certain players like, typically they're going to do a collab at some point for their signature shoe. In this case, he's done it with the PG3. So, I'm going to put this box down here. Put that down. Because I didn't know, based off the sneakers pictures, if this came with the tag. Now, for those that don't know, I actually have insight to what these numbers mean. Of course, when you see the tag, it says remove before flight. I didn't remove it. I actually kept it on. And I'm going to show you exactly how I engineered it on my, you know what? Huh. Hold on for a second. That's exactly what they did. But anyway, it does say remove before flight. But people were asking me what the numbers on the back mean. So, well, if we go to 1990, 1990 is the year that Paul George was born. 405, actually 661, is the area code for Palmdale, California. So if you call whatever number, 661 555 5555, that's what that means. That's the area code for Palmdale. 405 is the area code for Oklahoma City. So kind of get the gist of what that actually means, because it was bothering me the first time when he came up with the first version of the shoe, and I finally got the meaning of it. So now this is what I wanted to talk about. The shoe itself. We have the zip code for Palmdale, California right there. And of course on the midsole it also reads, don't tell me that the sky is the limit, when there are footprints on the moon. Now that's not a Paul George saying, but that was a famous engineer that actually said that, if I'm not mistaken. The one thing I'll say about this design and why I think it's cool, because it has the translucent bottoms with the mini pods on the bottom, and you can see that Paul George signature is featured on the shoe. Immediately, what stands out to me is the gold on the midsole. Now keep in mind, this is different from the first version. So I'm going to bring out the first version, and you can see that on the midsole for this Nike swoosh, the material that is kind of used on this is, it feels like some type of smooth synthetic nubuck. Like, it doesn't feel like the plastic silver lining that's on the outsole of the shoe. It just feels, it has like a nubuck feel, but it feels like it's synthetic. If you go on and look at this new white and gold PG3 NASA, this has like a plate, like a gold plate, and you can tell obviously you can tell that the hollow sound difference between this and this. This actually feels really, really premium good. One of the differences that I do see, other differences that I see between the original and the new, is the location of the badges. So we know that on the original, if I can move this, on the original, the USA badge is on the tongue, the right shoe, I should say, yeah. It's on the right side of the shoe, and it has Paul George's PG logo on the left side of the shoe for the tongue. This time, it looks like on the new series that they kept both similar on the tongues in terms of the Paul George logo, but they moved that American badge on the heel of the right shoe of the new shoe, which I think is pretty cool. They also kept the NASA badge on the left side of the heel of the shoe, pretty much the same. So I think that that's pretty cool. Another thing that's different is the mesh design. So the mesh design on the original, when you compare it with the new one, you can see that the pattern is different. It's the same mesh material, but it's just a little bit more defined on the new ones. Now, another subtle difference that I can actually see, I didn't realize this, I can feel it. If you have the original PG3 NASAs, you notice that on the heel it feels more like a nylon feel, like a polyester, not polyester, not it's more so like actually, you know what, it is nylon. Don't get it twisted. It feels like it's nylon that they used to cover the heel of the shoe, and on this feels like more it's polyester. I've never seen this done on a shoe before, but I'm guessing it still handles the same comfort level in terms of the heel as the original that they used on the new. When I put this on, this is actually good for me. And the reason why I say this is because these shoes are really designated for people with more narrow feet, long narrow feet, not wide feet. If you have wide feet, I do not recommend this shoe. If you have narrow, kind of long feet or narrow feet in general, then you should probably take a look at this, because this does feel good. And like I said, if we could compare the bottoms from the original to the new, you can see the difference. Obviously, the translucent, like I said, bottom at the bottom, at the bottom, at the bottom. The translucent bottoms with the pod soles, the mini pod soles, is pretty much the same engineering concept. And I feel like these, as much as this just looks like a basic engineering concept, it actually makes a difference because of what they're putting in on the midsole of the shoe. It's a lot of cushion in between the the inside of the shoe and the bottom of the shoe. I personally have worn this, and I wear it constantly because it feels good. I just can't wear it as much as I want to, simply because of the colorway. It's all over the place, but I could actually I could get away with wearing this shoe with this shirt. You know what I'm saying? But this shoe is more basic. I do like the gold. The gold just makes this shoe pop out. I'm sorry. I'm a huge fan of this. And somebody was asking me, well, what do you do about the tag? Like, I kind of want to keep the tag on there. And it does say, please, that said remove before flight. But me personally, I wanted to keep that on there. So what I did was basically I ripped off the plastic that is attached to the shoe. And basically I took this, the keychain, the key ring, and moved it to the tongue. There's actually like, I don't know if you can see it. You probably can see it. There's a strap on the tongue, and I actually wrapped the keychain right around the first loop on the tongue. So I think that by doing that, I've alleviated this problem where if you leave it like this when you're walking, if you're walking back and forth, and this tag is actually hitting the floor, so there's a chance that you might step on this and pull it out. To avoid that, I elevated it by moving the key ring, like I said, on the first loop of the tongue, the strap that actually overlaps the tongue, to keep it from going off on the ground, and you can still walk around freely without having any issues. I think that, again, that this shoe is dope. It is dope. I don't see much difference between the insides, like the yeah, it's just the NASA logo that you see currently on the back of the heel of the shoe. I really don't see much of a difference between the original and the new. Outside of that, like I said, the material's pretty much the same. The design is sort of the same. The colorway obviously is different. But I do like what they did with the midsole, and I like that swoosh. The fact that it has that metallic swoosh on the midsole, that gold metallic swoosh, it's just cool. Obviously, on the other side, it has that gold Nike swoosh. And on the original, it had a black one. But like I said, outside of that, guys, I think that this is a dope shoe. You have to see this up close and personal. It's not something that you can just go online and be like, it's all right. It's just literally one of those things. I've never been excited about a shoe before, but I've never had a shoe that had gold colorway with a metallic metallic gold swoosh on the midsole of the shoe. That's what stands out with this shoe. So your boy Magnificent just wanted to give you that quick PG3 NASA review. Like I said, subscribe to me. I subscribe to you. Didn't want to make this too long. Just wanted to show you some subtle differences between the PG3 NASA White and Gold and the PG3 NASA Originals that came out not too long ago. I believe it was January. So with that said and done, I am out. I got some stuff to do. I hope you have a nice day. Subscribe to your boy. I'll subscribe to you. And we're out.